Human,
He swore
pull
he'd
it
seen
out.
worse things on alien battlefields. Exploding plasma lungs, molten armor, even a soldier swallowed whole by his own combat suit. But nothing. Absolutely nothing. Could have prepared him for the blue-skinned woman currently writhing on his med table, gasping. It's swelling fast. Human, please, help. Commander Rindax froze, medical gloves halfway on. This, he muttered, staring at the glowing blue mark on her thigh, is not in the handbook. She was an Advani, tall, sleek, and too beautiful to be medically logical. Her skin shimmered with bioluminescent veins, and her golden eyes flicked between pain and something that looked suspiciously like embarrassment. The ship's medbay hummed with sterile calm, a wild contrast to the alien chaos on the table. Rin stepped closer. Okay, breathe. It's just a reaction to the nanoserum. Totally normal. Probably, I think. She whimpered dramatically. You think? Human, it's glowing! He squinted at the mark. Yeah, well, so do my kitchen lights. Doesn't mean they're dying, she hissed. My thigh isn't a kitchen light? He raised a brow. Depends on what you've been cooking lately. Her jaw dropped, and if looks could kill, he'd have been vaporized on the spot. The ship had picked her up after the skirmish on Vega 9. She was a mechanic for the Advani resistance, injured in an explosion that had somehow only affected the left side of her body, and maybe her patience. Rin had saved her, twice, first from enemy fire, then from her own attempt to walk it off. Now she was stuck in his medbay, glaring at him like he was both her rescuer and her captor. He could live with that. Okay, he said, grabbing a scanner. I need to look closer. Don't freak out if it gets a little warm. She blinked. Warm where? He smiled faintly. Exactly where you don't want it to. The scanner beeped, and the swelling pulsed again, the faint blue glow shifting toward violet. The alien girl's tail, he hadn't even realized she had one, flicked involuntarily, knocking over a tray of instruments. Stop moving. Rin sighed. You're the one making it worse. She shot back. He frowned. Pretty sure gravity's making it worse. For the record, he was a professional. A medic, a soldier, and occasionally a diplomat when no one else wanted the job. But there was no training course, no interspecies protocol, no emergency manual titled How to Handle a Half-Naked Alien Having a Bioluminescent Reaction. She arched slightly, groaning. It's spreading. Okay, he said quickly, don't panic. Just, lift what? He coughed. Never mind, I'll improvise. 3 minutes later, the scene had somehow devolved into what would look, if anyone walked in, like a low-budget romance holodrama. The human kneeling between the alien's legs, trying to apply a med-gel patch while the alien clutched the table and tried not to scream. She failed. It's burning. It's cooling gel! Then why does it tingle? He muttered. That's the nanites activating. She shot back. Then tell your nanites to mind their business. Rin tried very hard not to laugh. He failed too. Okay, he said, his voice shaking from suppressed laughter. Let's just take a breath. You're fine. I'm fine. We're both incredibly professional people handling a purely medical emergency. She narrowed her eyes. You're smiling. No, I'm not. You are? He rubbed his face. That's just my combat expression. She tilted her head, genuinely curious now. You smile in combat? Only when the enemy's yelling louder than you are. Her glare softened. Just a little. Then came the hum, the med scanner flickering to life, revealing what looked like a pulsing mass beneath her skin. Not dangerous, not lethal, but definitely weird. He stared at it for a second too long. She noticed. Stop staring at it. He blinked. At what? My thigh. Oh, right. The medical subject? Yes, definitely. Her tail flicked again, slapping his arm. Focus, human. He grinned. I'm trying to. There was silence for a beat. The kind of silence that fills a room just before something deeply unprofessional happens. Okay, he said finally, clearing his throat. I'm going to press on it. Her eyes went wide. Press? You dare? It's for science. Your science is perverted. It's medical. She crossed her arms. Fine, but if you hurt me, I'll bite. He hesitated. Should I be worried that you sound like you mean that literally? Her lips curved. Try me and find out. The tension thickened, half from the moment, half from her refusal to stop glaring at him. He leaned forward, applied pressure to the glowing mark, and, Of course, the swelling suddenly deflated with a faint pop. Both of them froze. "Did you just—" "Yeah," he said. "I think I fixed it." She blinked. "You fixed it by touching it?" He grinned. "Human hands are magic." She looked at him suspiciously. "You're mocking me. Always. Keeps the morale up." She sighed, slumping back on the table. "You humans are strange," he shrugged. "That's why the galaxy keeps us around. We're chaos with good hair." Her laughter was soft but real. It rippled through the medbay like the first bit of peace after a storm. "Chaos with good hair," she repeated, smiling now. "You're insufferable." "Yeah," he said, "but you're alive." "So I win." She sat up slowly, still flushed. "Thank you." "Rin," he blinked. It was the first time she'd said his name without spitting it like a curse. "Anytime, Blue Girl." "Don't call me that." "Then tell me your name." She hesitated, a mischievous spark in her eyes. "Maybe next time you save my life." He chuckled. "Deal. But for the record, I'm charging extra for alien drama." She smirked. "You couldn't afford me, human." Rin's grin widened. "Oh, I definitely could. I just don't know if you come with a refund policy." Her tail brushed against his leg, accidentally or not, he wasn't sure, and the medbay suddenly felt a lot smaller. She'd promised she was fine. She'd promised there'd be no more swelling, no more glowing, no more screaming. 5 minutes later, she was back in his medbay, glowing, hissing, and very much not fine. The lights flickered as Commander Rin Dax looked up from his datapad. Oh no, not again. The door slid open and there she was, tall, blue, furious, and clutching her thigh like she'd just lost a war with herself. "It's back," she barked. "You said it was fixed." Rin rubbed his face. "I said it looked fixed." "Big difference." She stomped in, tail swishing like an angry metronome. "Then fix it again." He sighed. "You realize the crew already thinks we're having an interspecies affair, right?" Her glowing eyes narrowed. "Then let's not disappoint them." He blinked. "Wait, what?" 5 awkward seconds later, the alien mechanic was once again perched on his med table, muttering something in Advani that sounded very rude. Rin powered up the scanner, trying to ignore the suspicious snickers coming from the hallway outside. Someone had definitely told the crew. Probably the communications officer, the ship's unofficial gossip relay. Rin cleared his throat. "Okay, let's start by taking another reading." She crossed her arms. "Last time you said that, I lost feeling in half my leg." He grinned. "That means the medicine worked." She gave him a withering glare. "If I lose another limb, I'm suing." He smirked. "Pretty sure we don't have intergalactic lawsuit coverage." As the scanner passed over her thigh again, the display beeped with a faint warning chime. Rin frowned. "That's new," she groaned. "Don't say new, say harmless." "Yeah, I can't do that." The scanner projected a hologram of her muscle fibers, each thread pulsing with faint pink light. He tilted his head. "Your cells are reacting to emotional stimuli?" Her ears twitched. "Meaning?" "Meaning the swelling happens when you're, stressed." She blinked. "You think I'm stressed?" He gestured around. "You're on a human warship surrounded by idiots, being treated by a medic who jokes too much." "You tell me." She stared at him for a long moment, then sighed. "Fine, maybe a little." "Good," he said. "Then we just need to relax you." She arched a brow. "Relax me? How exactly?" He froze. "Medically," he blurted. Her smirk deepened. "Of course, medically." The next few minutes were chaos disguised as science. Rin tried a mild sedative patch. It fizzled. He tried light therapy. It made her glow brighter. He even tried playing soothing earth music, something ancient and gentle. The first song the AI picked was Careless Whisper. She looked at him. He looked at the ceiling. The AI looked proud of itself. "Turn that off," Rin barked. The AI responded, but the patient's heart rate stabilized. The alien smirked. "I like this song," he groaned. "Of course you do." By the time the second verse played, she was swaying slightly, eyes half closed, her breathing calm. The glowing had faded, except for one faint line of light tracing along her collarbone. Rin caught himself looking. For a second too long, she noticed. "You're staring again," he coughed. "Just making sure the glow's subsiding." Her lips curved into a teasing smile. "Is that what humans call it now?" He turned away quickly, muttering, "Professional." "Be professional." She tilted her head. "You talk to yourself often?" "Only when I'm about to get sued." All right, he said finally, pulling up the next diagnostic. According to this, you need controlled breathing and mild muscle relaxation. Her tail twitched. You want me to nap? Basically, while you watch. That's how monitoring works, yes. She gave him a look that could melt armor plating. Humans are weird, he shrugged. And yet you keep ending up in my medbay, she sighed, lying back reluctantly. Fine, but if this doesn't work, I'm finding another doctor. Rin sat beside her console. Good luck. I'm the only one on board who knows where your arteries are. Her eyes flicked open. That's both comforting and terrifying. He smiled faintly. Welcome to human healthcare. For a few peaceful minutes, the ship's hum filled the silence. Her breathing evened out, the glow fading completely this time. Rin allowed himself a small sigh of relief. Then, beep, he froze. The scanner beeped again. She groaned, half asleep. What now? He checked the screen and frowned. Your heart rate spiked, again. I'm trying to relax, she mumbled. Something stimulating you, physiologically. Her tail flicked lazily. Maybe your voice. He blinked. What? She opened one golden eye. You humans talk too low. It vibrates, he nearly choked. That's biologically unfair. She smirked. Maybe next time whisper louder. He stood, flustered. Okay, that's it. I'm putting you on remote monitoring. Coward, she said softly, tail curling around the edge of the table. Self-preservation, he corrected. I'm not explaining to my captain why my patient's glowing every time I talk. Then stop talking. He grinned. Tempting. Suddenly the ship rocked violently. Alarms blared. Red alert, came the AI's voice. Incoming debris field. Rin grabbed the counter as the lights flickered. The alien sat up instantly, graceful despite the chaos. Battle stations? She asked. He nodded. You're still injured. Stay here. She stood anyway, stretching in one smooth, infuriating motion. I fix ships, remember? I'm not hiding while yours breaks. He tried to protest, but she'd already limped toward the door. He swore under his breath and followed. You're going to make me regret saving you, aren't you? She threw him a quick grin over her shoulder. Probably. Later, engineering bay, sparks flew. Metal groaned. The ship shuddered under the asteroid impacts. The alien mechanic moved like lightning, patching coolant lines, shouting orders, and somehow making Rin hold tools he didn't understand. Hand me the flux regulator. She barked. The what now? That silver thing. They're all silver. She groaned. Humans? He grabbed something and handed it over. She took one glance, rolled her eyes, and replaced it with the correct part herself. Remind me, she said between sparks, how does your species dominate half the galaxy? Charisma and caffeine, she snorted. Figures. The last impact rattled through the hull, then silence. The alarms faded. She straightened slowly, brushing ash from her skin. The glow had returned, but this time it shimmered faintly over her arms and chest, like soft starlight. Rin exhaled. You did it, she smiled. We did it. For a moment neither moved. The emergency lights cast the room in red and gold, her glow reflecting off the metal. He realized, somewhat dazed, that he was smiling again, she noticed. You're doing that thing again, he blinked. What thing? Looking at me like I'm one of your science projects. He smirked. You're more complicated than any I've studied. She tilted her head. Is that your way of flirting? He shrugged. Depends. Is it working? She pretended to think. Maybe a little. The ship's AI interrupted. Medical update. Patient heart rate rising rapidly again. They both groaned in unison. The official report called it standard medical quarantine. Unofficially, everyone on the ship called it the most awkward sleepover in galactic history. Rin Dax stared at the sealed door. One room, one bed, one overly chatty ship AI, and one glowing stubborn alien who refused to admit she enjoyed his company. The AI chirped cheerfully. Quarantine initiated. Air filters active. Privacy mode disabled for medical safety. Disabled? Rin snapped. The AI replied, correct. Monitoring heart rate, respiration, and, oh look, you're already blushing. He glared at the ceiling. I'm going to uninstall you after this. Behind him, the alien, still without giving her name, was leaning against the wall, arms crossed, smirking. Your ship insults you. I like it. She learns from the worst. Meaning you. He sighed. Exactly. She'd insisted she was fine. He'd insisted she wasn't. The compromise? Lock them both inside for 24 hours so he could observe any recurring glow reactions. Rin checked his scanner again. All right, according to this, your vitals are stable. How do you feel? Bored. That's not a symptom. It is when you're trapped with a human who stares too much. He smiled. I don't stare. I monitor. She smirked. That's what perverts say. Professional pervert, he corrected. Big difference. The glow along her collarbone had dimmed to a faint pulse, visible only when she breathed deeply. He tried not to notice that he was noticing. The silence stretched. Then she asked, Do all humans keep their rooms this messy? He looked around. It's organized chaos. It's disgusting. That's the chaos part. She sighed and sat on the edge of the bed, inspecting one of his medical devices. What's this? He blinked. That's a heart rate monitor. It vibrates. He froze. Please put that down. She smiled like a predator. You humans have interesting medicine. Stop touching things. Make me. He looked at the ceiling again. AI, sedate me. The AI replied, sedatives denied. You're funny or conscious. Hours crawled by. They argued about everything. Food, culture, what constituted personal space. She teased him relentlessly. He gave as good as he got. At one point, she asked, Why do humans always try to fix everything? He shrugged. Because if we don't, it breaks worse. Maybe not everything needs fixing. Maybe I just like fixing you. Her glow flared faintly. Careful, human. That sounded almost romantic, he grinned. Almost. By the time night cycle hit, the room lights dimmed to a warm amber hue. Rin was at the console pretending to work. She was sprawled on the bed pretending not to watch him. Finally, she spoke. You never asked my name. He looked up. You never told me. She hesitated. It's Karini. He smiled. Karini? She wrinkled her nose. Close enough. Nice to finally meet you, Karini. Don't get attached. Too late. She froze, eyes widening. He quickly added, medically, of course. She laughed softly. Of course. An hour later, Rin woke to a faint humming sound. Karini was glowing again, bright enough to light the room like a soft ocean lantern. Seriously? He groaned. It's 3 a.m. She frowned. It started when I dreamed. He scanned her. Dream-induced glow response. Great. My first glowing sleepwalker. She tilted her head. You have strange bedside manners. You have strange bed behavior. Her smile turned sly. You've been watching me sleep? I'm literally required to. Sure you are, he muttered. I should have joined the infantry. He tried adjusting the medbed sensors. She shifted, muttering in her native tongue, then suddenly reached out and caught his wrist. Her hand was warm. Too warm. Don't move, she whispered. He froze, her eyes half opened, golden irises glowing faintly. When I wake, the glow fades faster if I feel calm. Okay, so you want me to stay still? She didn't let go. Her breathing slowed. The light pulsed once, twice, then dimmed completely. Rin just stood there, trying to remember how to breathe. When she finally opened her eyes fully, she blinked in confusion. You didn't move? You told me not to. Her lips curved faintly. Most humans would have run. He smiled. Most humans haven't met you yet. The AI broke the silence. Heart rates elevated. Shall I dim the lights for mood? Both shouted in unison, No! The next morning, Karini paced the room restlessly. I'm fine now. You can end the quarantine. Rin checked the monitor. Still fluctuating vitals. She leaned closer. Or maybe your machine's just reacting to you. He blinked. What's that supposed to mean? Her grin widened. You glow too sometimes, just not on the outside. He looked away quickly. You're impossible. And yet you keep me here. Medical duty. Liar. Eventually, the AI chimed. Quarantine clearance possible if both subjects exhibit low stress for 10 continuous minutes. Karini's tail swished. Low stress? With him here? Rin folded his arms. Challenge accepted. They sat opposite each other. 10 minutes of silence. Then he sneezed. She laughed so hard the glow flickered back on. AI. Timer reset. Rin groaned. This is torture. She wiped tears from her eyes. You humans have terrible composure. When they finally got clearance hours later, she was halfway to the door when she stopped. Human? Yeah. She looked back. Thanks for not running, he shrugged. Thanks for not biting. Her smile turned wicked. Next time, no promises. The door slid open. Rin sighed in relief, then realized the entire corridor was filled with crewmates pretending to check the ventilation system. They all clapped. The AI announced helpfully, medical quarantine complete. Romantic tension unresolved. Rin buried his face in his hands. Karenni just grinned. Told you they were watching. The human didn't sleep that night, mostly because she refused to stop hovering near him, whispering things like, "Are you sure your body won't rupture if I touch your arm again? And your heart rate spiked when I blinked, human. Is that normal?" He'd tried explaining privacy, but to an alien who thought personal space was just a myth invented by shy species, it was hopeless. At one point, she poked his ribs again. "Your body makes strange sounds when I'm near," she murmured, tilting her head. "Is that a distress call?" "It's called nerves," he muttered. Perfectly normal around a girl who stares like she's scanning for weaknesses. Her lips curled into that mischievous half-smile again. Weakness detected. That line alone nearly killed him. She circled him, pretending to inspect his clothes, his hands, even his hair. The way a scientist might inspect a new planet. Then she stopped right behind him, breath brushing his neck. "Human," she whispered. "Do you always react this way when someone gets too close?" He froze. "Define this way." She leaned closer. "You start breathing faster. Your temperature increases. Your face flushes." He swallowed. "That's biology." She tapped her chin thoughtfully. "Then I must study your biology very carefully." "Not tonight," he said quickly. "I'm, out of lab supplies." "Unacceptable," she replied flatly. "I'll use improvisation." Before he could ask what that meant, she reached for his shirt collar. He flinched. "Whoa, wait, what are you doing?" "Checking for swelling," she said, completely serious. "You said it happens when you're nervous," he groaned. "That's not how it works." But she blinked at him innocently. "Then show me how it works." He facepalmed so hard he nearly dislocated his jaw. "You're impossible." Compliment accepted. The human turned, trying to regain control of the conversation. "Look, I saved you, gave you food, a bed, and a second chance. The least you could do is not make me die of embarrassment." Her smile softened for the first time that night. "Embarrassment," she repeated quietly. "That's warmth mixed with fear, yes?" He blinked. "You know that word?" She looked away. "On my planet, no one blushes. No one trembles because of another. When I came here, I thought humans were weak. Now I see." She stepped closer, her voice barely a whisper. "You feel so much that it makes you strong." That hit harder than it should have. For a moment, all the joking tension melted into something heavier, something real. "Guess we're both learning things," he said finally. Her tail flicked once, a subtle sign of affection among her kind. "Then teach me, human." He raised a brow. "About what?" She smiled, eyes glinting. "Everything," he laughed softly. "Your trouble," she nodded proudly. "And you're mine." The generator hummed softly in the background, casting a warm glow across the bunker walls. For the first time since she'd crash-landed into his life, the silence between them wasn't awkward or dangerous. It was alive, charged with humor and something dangerously close to affection. She sat beside him, eyes half closed, murmuring, "When I first saw you, I thought humans were fragile. Now, I think you're the most durable creature I've ever met." He smirked. "Careful. Keep talking like that and I might start believing you actually like me." She leaned in, voice teasing. "Then you'd better make sure I don't stop talking." He exhaled a laugh. "You're not gonna, are you?" "Never." And just like that, the human realized something he never expected. In a galaxy full of war and wonder, the most unpredictable thing of all was falling for the alien girl who wouldn't stop teasing him. The next morning, he woke up to the smell of burning plastic and a sound that could only be described as alien disaster in progress. He bolted upright. "What are you doing?" The alien girl, proudly, dangerously, turned around holding his frying pan upside down. "Cooking," she said. Smoke poured from it. "That's my toolbox lid." He yelled. She blinked. "It looked like a pan. It's full of grease and machine oil." "I thought that was flavor." He dragged a hand down his face. "You're gonna kill me." She tilted her head, confused. "But you said humans like when someone cooks for them." "Yeah, but not when it ends with an explosion." As if on cue, The frying pan emitted a pop and sprayed blue sparks. The bunker lights flickered. He jumped up. Okay, no more experiments before breakfast. She set the smoldering pan down and on his bed, not there. He shouted, too late. The blanket caught fire. He grabbed the extinguisher, doused it in foam, and stood there breathing heavily while she just stared, tail twitching in amusement. You're very brave when facing small fires, she observed. Perhaps that's why your kind wins wars. He pointed the extinguisher at her. Don't flatter me while I'm covered in foam, she giggled. But you look cute like this. Very fluffy, he groaned. You're impossible. Again, compliment accepted. He turned away to salvage what was left of breakfast, but she followed him, inch for inch, like a curious cat. So, human, she said sweetly, I have decided something important. He braced himself. Oh no, what now? I will repay my life debt to you. Oh? He looked over his shoulder skeptically. By setting more of my stuff on fire. By becoming your mate. He froze mid-motion. I'm sorry, and you're what? My mate, she repeated perfectly calm. You saved me. You fed me. You endured my misbehavior. On my world, that means you are now bound to me, he sputtered. You can't just decide that. She frowned slightly, confused. Do humans not follow that custom? He rubbed his temples. No. We usually talk about it first, and dating doesn't involve property damage. Her expression softened into mischief again. Then teach me this. Dating is... Wait, what are you doing? She had leaned close. Very close. Examining his lips like she was studying a rare material. Does it start with contact? She whispered. Don't, he started, but she brushed her fingers along his chin, utterly fascinated. Soft, she murmured. Warrior hands, but gentle face. Strange combination. Yeah, well, he said, voice cracking. Humans are complicated. Her tail wrapped loosely around his wrist. So I see, he swallowed. You really don't know what you're doing to me, do you? She blinked. Am I causing physical distress again? He laughed, unable to stop himself. Yeah, the good kind, she smiled, and this time it wasn't mischievous. It was warm, genuine, and just a little shy. Then perhaps I'm learning. For a long moment neither spoke. The bunker hummed quietly, the smoke faded, and somewhere outside, the storm eased into silence. She broke the moment first, of course. So human. When does this dating involve food again? He chuckled, shaking his head. You're hopeless. Hopelessly yours, she said proudly. He stared at her, then burst into laughter. Fine, you win. She tilted her head. I won? Yeah, he said, smiling for real this time. You've officially conquered your first human. She grinned, showing a hint of fang. Then I'll protect my prize with my life. He rolled his eyes, still laughing. Please just don't protect me with my frying pan. She looked at the charred remains on the counter. Oh, then I'll need a new weapon, he sighed. Yeah, good luck explaining that at the store. And as the two of them stood there, one exasperated, one proud of her chaos, the bunker felt just a little brighter. For once, he didn't mind the mess. Because somehow, between the smoke, the teasing, and the burnt breakfast, the alien girl had become home.